Take a look at the chat. Hey, Justin, Anson, welcome. Emily, Sarah G, Jason, LaSween, no longer on the ball.
LaSween? I
I know,
haven't seen
right?
LaSween in a while.
I know.
Sween machine.
Classic. Has anybody seen Kirk in a while? Is Kirk around anymore? I know he was more of a night owl, so I was hoping maybe he would pop in.
I don't know. It's like just out in YouTube world is just not the same. You never know, like who's going to stream when unless they're just really doing it every week. So like you almost have to just pop in randomly and you'll catch some stuff. And then some people will just disappear for a while and you won't hear anything from them. You know, kind of like what you did. And then and now you're back.
Yeah. You know, I'm never really.
I'm one of those guys too. Like if you're doing it every week, the quality could take a hit, you know, unless you've just got, you know, enough bits and stuff like that, or you're doing a lot of work. So like, if you don't feel like streaming, you should just don't stream.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I have to want to, dude. I have to want to. Like I'm like, I got nothing, so I'm like, am I gonna do it? And that's because otherwise it'll suffer. You know, real quick, I'm just trying to remember this classic, this guy right here. I love this.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now.
Isn't that great? Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that I had that all from the last time, all ready to go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
good.
So hey, dude. So I've been on this kick lately, with Flat Earth and stuff, and you know I love having our chats, man. I love chatting with you. You know, chatting with like finding people like you was. You know, it took me a long time because, like, when I first found Flat Earth, I went from okay, let me, you know, like maybe I couldn't, you know, you can't really sit with it. It's hard to sit by yourself. You know, I like to equate it to like I just saw a ghost, and you tell somebody, dude, there's a ghost in this apartment, and what do? They go, that's crazy. No, you didn't, and then you go, damn it, but I did see a ghost. You know, and because
then you start questioning yourself,
and you go, damn it, and he just wants attention. You know, I've never actually seen a ghost because they ain't real, but but that's the idea. And so obviously, like I went on this journey where I didn't realize it at the time, but I was really looking outward, and I know everybody can relate to this, because that's kind of. You know, that's one of the things that we all have in common, especially that's why when we're at like a meetup, like we're the chattiest Cathys ever, you know, it's of course, you know, and so, you know, it took a little while to find, you know, first you find people online, then you go to a meetup and you don't know them. And then you start finding people that are kind of like you and like you would be friends with if it wasn't Flat Earth.
If there wasn't Flat Earth, right? You just like sort of find those. I had the same thing as you, man. I was like, when I like very first started looking at it, of course, I was hiding it from people at the bar. You know, I was like, you know, but I came from like I was still in bands, you know, and I came from a very sociable sort of existence where like, you know, I had lots of friends in lots of towns and lots of places, and you know, I was just, you know, they knew me to be like I liked strange subjects and I like, you know, going down rabbit holes. I like to read, you know, I'm you know, reading is delightful. And, you know, that kind of sort of transferred into, I'm gonna check out Flat Earth, check this out.
Yeah.
You know, debunk the shit out of this, whatever.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens there. So, you know, like I had a hard time. And then when we, you know, we finally, like, I think I met you at was it Solar Return?
Solar Return. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're all kind of wondering about aimlessly trying to figure out, would I hang out with any of these people? You know, because it's a wide variety of folks that go to one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you get all types, right? And you're like, I mean, I don't know that I would hang out with a lot of people here, but I'm going to give it a shot, and of course it got easier, over time. I think I met you there, and you come to realize that a lot of these people, they have the same sense of humor and the same people that they, there's this isn't, it can be a freak show for sure. Yeah. There are some freaks in flat earth, but like, I don't know. I mean, like after the first 2-3 years, it was starting to get more comfortable.
Yeah.
And now I don't even care. I just like people might take a dig at me, but they know that they don't even want to approach me in conversation because I'll crush them. So like, I just turn it funny, I just turn it funny. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. It's your journey, buddy.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But what we did was we became, and I know I became that guy who really couldn't keep his mouth shut like every opportunity. And I remember seeing you in New York, and we were talking to someone, and then like as soon as the subject came up, I'm like, oh yeah, well, what about? I just couldn't help myself, and it just comes over. And in my mind, I just think, at the time, I'm like, well, they need to know this, and I am just doing society a solid right now. Me, like giving me. I'm just taking time out of my day to crack an egg of knowledge on this poor I mean, that's literally kind of what you think, but like when I look back on it, it's more like, oh, come on, people, come on.
Yeah.
Because
you know what, if you sharpen your ears up enough and you're listening, especially when you're in a bar somewhere, if you really keep your ears sharp, somebody will eventually say something that's related to the flat earth, right? They'll say something that's related to it. Like, my flight was, I don't know why the hell we stopped over here, but like we had to do this flight over here, and then we finally ended up over here. And if you just say it out of the corner of your mouth, like I remember I was at this bar in Old Japan, and somebody was talking he was talking to a geologist, but the other guy was, I think, flat, right? There was a flat earther that was in there, but nobody knew that we were all in there together. And like this other guy was kind of in passing saying to this geologist, he's like, you got a lot of zeros at the end of those years that you talk about these rocks or whatever, the earth could be flat, and then I immediately, when I heard that, I looked down the bar and I was like, you might be onto something. And then I just go back to my own, back to my own business. Right. Or like, if you're walking out of a bar and you hear somebody say something that's kind of related to flat earth, you'll just kind of say like, yeah, the earth is flat. And then you walk out the door, and you don't have to, take in all of their, whatever they're going to get at you. But I guarantee you, in most situations, there's probably a flat earther in the room that you don't know about. So like, if you can play word games, and you can kind of, if you pick up on things to say, and you could wink at them and say, well, I'm joking, but maybe I'm not joking, and you can kind of play it out. Like, but as long as like, the audience, man, you can do it the right way, or just make it as funny as you can.
Sure.
What I mean?
I agree. And that's what I love about this community, is that like, well, at the beginning, I felt like this need to, talk to other people about it, but I'm an extrovert. I think you are too. So that's kind of natural. But I think there are a lot of people who look into this that would be at the bar, that no matter how, much they're, desperate to like connect with on this topic, it's a lot harder for them for whatever reason. Right. We're performers. Like, I kind of enjoy it. Like, you're an Aquarius. Like, there's
I didn't think about that actually, because we are performers. So like,
everybody in this community has like a little bit of that. You notice that there's a little, there's a little bit of that. At least like at the meetups, I see it. I recognize that. Yeah.
So you've got a little bleed over in from that little stage talent into actually being able to talk in front of people, like out in public, right? And well, I mean, maybe there's something. I didn't really ever think of it that way, dude. I always just thought about it like, I can talk about this in a pretty logical manner, or I just don't talk about it, or I'll make a joke and see if somebody actually picks up on it. Wink, wink.
Well, no, because you're a performer, like like they know you have kind of like a free pass. I felt like I had a free pass with anybody that knew me, based on my personality and what I did for a living. Like, when I brought up flat earth, it was like, oh, that's he can do that because he like played like the saw on a stage at Knott's Berry Farm and shit. Like, like that's goofy. And it's like, I kind of like played that angle. Like, I recognize that, like, oh, I think I maybe have like more of like a little golden pass here to like sound a little out there. But I don't know if everybody would.
You got to remember how far we've come. And this isn't like patting ourselves on the back or anything. I'm talking about how long it took to get to the place where we're at now, where I'm totally comfortable. If somebody wants to talk to me about it, I can completely just glide through a great conversation with them and not get them triggered. Like I know how to not get them triggered. And if I feel triggering coming on, I'll just kind of like, hey man, we don't have to talk about it. We'll talk about something else. And then they can usually forget about it and like that, because really it's just like I've done it. I've dealt with enough triggering. The people getting triggered over me not wearing a mask and me not wanting to do that here. The thing in the arm, and and it turns out that we were right. So like now it's like I'm not going to rub it in their face about it. I'm not going to rub. I'm not going to do all those things.
No,
like that.
I think really that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way.
It's not useful moving forward.
There's a lot of that though in the flat Earth community. There's a lot of that, and I've said it too though, but. There's just a lot of like this need to like rub it in their face. And I think a lot of these debates are like that. And because when you're debating people on this topic, you're debating the hardest people ever to ever see it. Like they've, I don't know if, so what do we, I think it's good for anybody listening to the debates to like hear how it goes. So like, wow, this is like a lot of really good arguments. I think it's really, really good. But there is like this, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but there's like this hidden like gem of a motivational factor. Like you want them to see it as if they're the ones that put us through this trauma of having to deal with this change.
Exactly. Like we want to get payback for them not seeing.
I know, and forgetting that we were them and we just did it. We just, like we lost empathy with them. Like like a few years earlier we could have been drinking beers and just laughing at how flat earthers are stupid, and I would have been like, I know, yeah they are. And then 3 years later it's like, well, I'll show you. And it's just so quick. And I don't know, it was hard for me to wake up. So like I don't want them to have a bad experience realizing this. I think
you will. That being said, they do have to go through the experience as a whole. Now, does it have to be as bad as what it was for like a lot of us early cats that were doing this? Like, some of these people, 2013, 2014, I didn't get on until like 2015 or 2016. But there's like coming from almost zero, coming from almost whispers in the canyon wind, talking about flat earth, like 5 or 6 people, 2013. There's probably some more people, but they weren't talking about online. Right. So we kind of came up, we were like maybe we were sophomores to them being seniors, like 2015, 2016. It was still rough, but YouTube was beautiful during those 2 years because you could get all the content right. And then the door shut. And that's when I really started like,
well, that's why I think it's harder for people. They had the second wave insurgence of flat earth is stupid. So we didn't have that. Imagine that like pixie dust of flat earth is stupid. Like they sprinkled it all over us in elementary school and it stuck for a little bit. And that's why I was like, yeah, it's stupid, but it didn't take. And then in 2018, the whole world heard that people were looking into it. And then they reinforced it by changing the algorithm. And unless like they gave it credence, like all it did was just push them farther away. So I do think that people now have it a little harder because they've thought about it more and they've consciously probably went Team Globe as an adult and thought about it.
And they're like, they don't want to go back and address it again. It's like,
they've already made that.
I had this mental fight already. I can't go back to it. I mean, but the only thing I remember, I was talking, it was actually my buddy Crash, my drummer in my old band. And I was like, look, dude, this isn't something that I can answer questions that you might ask, but I can't take you through this. You got to go through it on your own. In order to truly get the fruits of this, which there are big time fruits. If you go through the process properly, you go through everything, you make sure you've checked all the boxes, and the fruits are, anxiety all but disappears. Fear all but disappears. I'll have my moments, but like for the most part, all of those anxieties that I'd harbored for years and years and years and years just vanished once I really kind of popped up through the other side. Now it took 2-3 years of me just trying to reinforce, is this correct? Are we sure we're correct on this? Are we sure we're correct on this?
Right, yeah.
And then once you get on that, the final stretch of breaking through, everything you get lighter. You feel lighter physically, you feel more at peace. You can spot propaganda from a fucking mile away. I mean, it's just like you can see everything. And you want everybody else to have that experience. You want everybody to have that. You want to like, dude, you got to try this. This is like a great drug. You know, you got to try this. You know, but you can't.
It's
in order
hard,
to get the
though.
full fruits out of it.
You know, because when like still to this day, when I hear people I respect talk, I listen to Rick Rubin do an interview, you know, talking about the process, you know. And if for anybody that doesn't know, like he's one of the most famous producers. He's produced like probably the best albums. Blood Sugar, Sex Magic, and like Weezer,
like a
and
studio guru.
Yeah, like everything he does is just gold. So I respect him a lot, you know. And so I hear a lot of his advice, and I'm hearing his interview, and he just says these casual things like, you know, it was like this all around the planet, and I'm just like, damn it. That's gonna for the rest of my life, hearing people like that, they're like, I'm hearing these little things. It's like, oh, you know, there's also a quote by Alan Watts. I was listening to one of his. He's a genius, but he says this, he makes this analogy that he's like, well, if you, this is in the 60s, but he makes this analogy that like you're people that are closed-minded or like flat earthers or something, they're no matter how much evidence you show them, they're going to always think it's flat. And he just used that as an example because that was at the time, you know, a good example. But it's like, it's Alan Watts, and you hear these things just everywhere, and like people that I respect so much, and then you hear like the way they just casually and like unnoticingly just talk and have no idea the deception, and just like they're going. It's I don't know. It's like degrading.
They don't know that they don't know that they don't know. Especially this was in the 60s. They really didn't know. They didn't know. You know,
yeah, it was just, it's just degrading. You know, it's like watching. I don't know how to explain it. It's sad to me, or so I don't know what it is. It's like
see, I don't cancel people, but I can immediately eliminate people from my field of interest just by the language they use. If I still hear people say global, maybe they did it on accident. Maybe even some flat earthers still use global accidentally. I have completely eliminated it from my yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean globe. It just means world. I know, and you have to make that
worldly,
switch.
whatever.
But I can't help think like this is just it's just there. Austin's looks like he's going to be joining us. I see him.
Yeah.
Welcome, Austin. Here we go. What up, dude?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Just cracking this blunt real quick.
Ooh, let me move this. I have my logo blocking the StreamYard thing, so I wouldn't. But now I got Lowry here, so let's see if I can. That might work. No, that won't work.
That's fun. No, my head's behind the. I mean, I don't care. It's whatever.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Let's do this. No, I'll just you are kind of behind it. So look what I did here. So I got like a streamer. Yeah, we'll just
do that.
Get
rid of it?
I can get rid of it. I'm such a cheap ass. Look at this. All right, I'll just do a little of that.
There you go.
There you go. That's what this is for. I'm not gonna pay the monthly fee here. I'm just gonna screenshot StreamYard from my computer. Done. All right, that's done. StreamYard for free.
I can also do one of these too. Let's see. Does that help?
Oh, yeah, that helps.
Does that help a little bit?
There we go. It looks nice. You can't see on yours in StreamYard, but like on the stream at home, I put a "Don't Follow Crumb" logo over it. That's why.
Yeah, I can see it because I'm running your other.
That's
I can run your stream over here
about,
too.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the StreamYard. That's what you're hiding. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You're like, sure you are. Oh, what's up, man?
So what's up, man? I haven't caught much of the conversation because I just got home from work.
You know, we're just having a conversation. That's it. Like, we're just having the conversation we all would like to have, and really kind of free flowing, and it's been going nice.
Nice.
What did we kind of touch? We just kind of touched upon, you know, our journey so far and how we're kind of, you know, Alex is in the same boat. We're just kind of past the point of needing to look outwards for validation, and it's just letting it sit there and just kind of realizing that like it's still important. It's still an important part of our lives, you know, beyond this. So we're all just kind of figuring out like how do we grow from this and how do we sit with it, and I just kind of want to like, you know, talk about like specific scenarios, and maybe like we can like I don't know, like not problem solve, but like like think about ways of doing damage control, like say like a Christmas time or Thanksgiving, like Aunt Bess says like, "Oh, I just love that Elon Musk. We're going to go to Mars next year," and then, yeah, I know, and then all of us we feel that
Christmas.
shit.
Like half the flat earthers are gonna say it's a satanic holiday. Like
I know.
I mean, I like Christmas, man. I'm a flat earther that likes Christmas. It seems like around the holidays, majority of the flat earth population just becomes this like cranky, like, man. I'm kind of over all that shit. Like,
see, I just call it, it's Festivus for the rest of us. And, I like shiny lights on trees. That's great. And people want to give me gifts. That's great. Fine. Whatever. I'm not like worshiping like the pagan holiday or whatever they think it is, but it's not really a time to get grumpy. Really. It's more like,
I know it's really not. I everything about it. It's like, well, 2,000 years ago, this happened. Like, yeah, well, nowadays,
here to take your lotion.
Now, nobody thinks about that shit.
It'll lead you to your demonic ways. I'm like, yeah, that's what made me start, snorting heroin was Christmas.
Right. Yeah, all those cookies and milk. Yeah,
I just saw a video. So we won't take it too far off the subject here, but I just saw a video today. It was on Dave's channel where, and you guys can tell me if you know anything about this. I had never seen this before, and I thought I'd seen all the content. I thought I'd finished all the Flat Earth content. It's a guy that was he was down in Antarctica, and he had a camera video from another year of these support things that are leading up into what allegedly is the covering, the dome, the firmament, whatever you want to call it. And then fast forward, like, I guess it was 10 years, somebody else caught the same footage. It was a completely different person on a different camera. Is that fake? Has anyone seen that?
What?
I had never seen it. Yeah.
A support thing?
Okay.
No, I haven't seen it.
To me, I feel like it's probably fake, but it was on. Dave put the video up on his channel, and I was like, usually Dave's pretty good about, vetting out, like Taking Back Eden says, watched it. The metal pillars, and the metal pillars in Antarctica. So it's going to be, you could probably find it on YouTube. It'd be a harder search than or maybe that video from, but anyway, it's trippy as balls. It's like you've got what looks like these massive pillars leading up and doing some sort of strange connection with, what we're calling the firmament or the dome or wall or whatever. Anyway,
well, I will say it's weird that like I looked at the Antarctica like webcams that they have at the, they update them every day. And they're getting better at these 24-hour suns. Like, it almost fooled me, but like it's going the same way both rounds. There's like the AM one, and then there's like there's something in the sky that they black out this circle, and it goes the same way as the sun 12 hours earlier. Like, it doesn't make it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're getting a little more clever at their little like trying to their little path of deception.
I know, but you know how crazy we sound. So like, I don't even care. I don't even want to talk about proofs and videos. We said, oh, they're getting better. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I know. It's like, so I don't know. I like Dave's I love all those videos, but you know what? It's just something happened like a year ago. Like something about this topic and the proofs and stuff. I just started feeling this weird knot in my stomach the more I went down it. And I don't know, like it used to bring me so much higher. And I don't know, lately it hasn't.
I think we're getting to the point now where the cats that have been in this thing for a while, we're starting to, nothing's blowing us away anymore. The whole Tartarian thing came along. That was a nice little boost of like, wow, this is some new shit to look at, whether you believe it or not. But like, I mean, Flat Earth, just like that to me, that was the jam. It was like, that was the sequel that did all sequels. It was done after that. I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. Everything is brand new. Right. And now that we've just been hammering it, for years and years and years, we're kind of coming to like, well, we're all waiting for that new little bit that's going to come out and it's going to be even more awesome. And it's just kind of like, we're sort of at our, we've plowed through all the material. And like I said, when I saw that video today, that was new to me, and I was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." But I thought I'd seen it all. So there's probably a lot more stuff out there that we haven't like ground through. But I
That's true.
mean, I
Yeah,
met
no,
all you
I
guys.
mean, we don't know. We have to like relearn. If you want to know what this world is, it's still a mystery, for sure. But like at first, a lot of these proofs were just more of like an insecurity. I think I needed to like know all of them. It wasn't more of a curiosity. It was more like, shit, I better know all this stuff if I'm gonna walk the walk. And
Oh yeah.
and that's what we all know. It's like, I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I can talk about anti-corpuscular rays. I'm fucking done. I'm out. But everybody has their own like level of like, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna get obsessed over this. But I mean, I got to the point where I was easily able to talk to somebody at a bar or whatever, and shut down any semblance of smirky smartassness, like, and that felt good at the time. That's how.
Yeah, I mean, well, my experiences were, don't use spherical trigonometry to someone that hasn't heard about any of this stuff yet, because their eyes will just glaze over and they'll just be like, what?
Well,
I mean, most of these people don't even remember math. They don't even remember high school, much less a math class from high school, right? Like, I had to dig, man. I was like, wait a minute, do I have to go back and learn fucking trig again to figure this out? I literally had to go back and go through a couple pages. Yeah, I found some math book or something online. I was like, let me just get the basics of this shit, make sure this is right.
Yeah.
And I realized that like the people in this community have long memories. I've noticed that they remember a lot of stuff versus your average, whatever we call NPCs, whatever they are. But like, digging back for that shit, for me, that was exercising a muscle I haven't used in 25 years. So
giving a shit, like actually caring about learning something, that was amazing. I don't know. I wish I had that same tenacity in high school. I was like sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm like, when is this over with? This is boring. Balls doesn't make sense. And it was like, what? Flat? Oh my God, I'm so curious. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. That completely makes sense. Oh, it was like, yes. It was it made
all the pieces. All the pieces.
Yeah, it became an obsession for me, man.
It did?
Definitely.
What was your proof, man? What was your one? Or you was the one that was like, God damn it, I gotta fucking like I'm team flat.
Well, I kind of already knew like that the moon landing was bullshit, but I never really gave it any more thought into why they would fake it or anything like that. It was money, blah blah blah. But when I first came across this, man, it was as simple as water. And then that making me realize how easily programmed I was, because my everyday observation literally goes against what I've been taught, and then realizing that we were conditioned just by simple memes that were put in textbooks, dude. Like it's not like I didn't know the science of the spinning ball or gravity. I still don't know how to fucking explain gravity, right? Not the globe model, right?
Yeah.
And
are you talking about mass attracts mass? That bullshit,
yeah, all that bullshit.
That was the secrets. You know what? That's the secret sauce, man. That's like, if you have an engine and you don't have oil in the engine, then the engine just like melts together and it doesn't run. That's what gravity is to the globe engine, and you take gravity out of it, the whole fucking thing implodes.
I don't even like taking the conversation of gravity, because a normal person doesn't even understand. They're going to bring up mass attracts mass, but that isn't what they're applying to gravity here that we're standing on here on Earth. It's not mass attracts mass, and they don't know that there's a second gravity, right? Which is the Einsteinian bullshit. But
I love when they look at you like you don't understand that things fall down. Like that's where I'm like, oh, you don't believe in gravity? Well, what about this? Like I've been going my whole life not recognizing this phenomenon. I'm like, what a fucking.
This means that the planets are all moving around us, right? So it makes no fucking sense.
Oh, Andrew B's gonna join us here. Hell, we got Andrew B.
No one picked up something like.
What up, Andrew?
It's not like he picked
Andrew
up an apple.
B.
What's up, brother?
Welcome, brother.
I'll be right back.
Right on, man. Right on. Hell yeah, nice little conversation.
But yeah, it became an obsession, dude. Straight obsession. And my wife was more vocal about it in public, and we didn't really have friends. Like we still really don't have friends. We have a couple friends that we see like every once in a while, but she would just tell people about flat Earth, and I was like, babe, you need to chill out. Like, stop talking about it. What are you doing? Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, after, like, oh, it's flat. What? Well, what about this or that? I don't know. I heard this
That's
guy
a good
on
angle, man, because coming from a girl,
you know?
like, it comes off a little sweeter, so you can kind of like break the ice, and then you're like,
she
I
was
don't
like,
know.
oh yeah, you hear the
saying
Earth she's like, you hear the Earth might be flat. She's talking about she's talking to the cash register. All these ladies working all these restaurants, or just
That's rad.
people passing by. She's wanting to talk about it because we both were listening to Sam Tripoli. We heard Dave Weiss and wanted to figure out who the hell this guy was. And it was like an obsession we need to replace, because we was already getting off heroin and meth, you know, and we had nobody really to talk to about it because we dropped all of our junkie friends. And we just dove right into it. And then I found Glowbusters, and I went all the way to the very beginning and sped up. I was working on a horse farm then, and I was able to keep headphones in, and I just kept digesting flat Earth debates. It was all of it.
It really did fill a void for me too. It filled a void at that time in my life,
right when it needed to, right? Exactly when it needed to, man.
I'm not gonna lie, that maybe that me desperately needing something. I remember at that time I think I was just ignoring trying to like be like a responsible human being or something. I just was like, I'll do that. I'll do that work tomorrow. Somebody's got to watch these videos. I mean, I got a lot, you know. Someone's got to look into Sandy Hook. But it was more for just me, you know. And then I'm like, oh shit, this one's big, and then it took me big. How about you, Andrew? What was your number? What was the one that like you're like the proof is like, God damn it, I have to look
the exact moment that it happened, but.
Nicole says hello, Andrew.
Hold on, I gotta move the. Yeah, I have to use my webcam. As
are you at work?
I am at work. Yes.
Oh, nice. Streaming at work.
Nice, man.
Double time.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I hit him up to see if he wanted to do it, but yeah, I thought maybe you'd be at home.
I told my students, like, get the fuck out of the class. And you guys should be honored and privileged. I had to buy them like $103 worth of pizza just so I could join the stream tonight.
Oh, man.
Out of my class.
Very cool. Man, thanks. Holy shit.
That's commitment right there.
Hey, after our stream, Crumb, Andrew was like, hey, man, next time you get Crumb on, I got to join. I got to be a part of it.
Dude, Andrew's, absolutely. That's why I hit him up. I'm like, we got to get Andrew in here. By the way, Andrew, I should let you know that I figured out the hot water issue. I was having a hot water thing going on in my house, like installing a tankless one, and he was telling me, "Oh yeah, you're just gonna have to rewire all this stuff and it's gonna cost like probably $1,400 from like an electrician." So I figured out what to do. Did not cost any money. I just returned that thing, got a 120 volt with a plug-in 8-gallon one, plugging it straight in. It works great. It takes short showers. Boom. Instead of all that nonsense. So I just
there you go.
Yeah, it worked out great. I didn't realize
Andrew. We're kind of taking inventory right now, like on our flat Earth experience. I was, because we hadn't streamed in a while, and like we were just kind of reflecting back on like where we're at now, and like I'm interested to hear what yours is, because I'll tell you guys mine, and like you guys will laugh, but you show yours first, Andrew.
My best flat Earth experience or knowledge or
just the breakthrough.
The moment when you were like, "Oh shit, I have to actually take this serious." Like,
oh shit, Mom.
It was back in 2017, roughly, when I heard about this from ironically, some of my students, and they were telling me, "Oh yeah, by the way, the Earth is flat." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! It's a bunch of nonsense." Then I had another student come up, and another student come up. And then finally, I was like, all right, I got to look into this shit. So finally I did. I know my audio might be kind of shitty right now because I got like close to the webcam and all that crap.
No, you're good. That gives me hope for the future that your students were coming up to you and talking to you about it.
Yeah, and then I actually went over to one of the students' houses, who's pretty close here, and he showed me the dog cam video.
That one.
And he's like, it looked pretty flat. It's pretty high up. oh shit.
120,000 feet.
And then, yeah, it was, I think it might have been a little bit higher than that even. But either way, I saw that. Then he said, okay, if you're still not convinced, I'm going to show you the Eric Dubay history of the flat earth. Now, the entire thing is like 6.5 hours long, roughly. But the one he sent me was less than that. Like, he did, I guess it was a
The
different
200
video.
proofs
Or,
one.
The 200 proofs is abridged. Yeah.
well, I watched that
proofs
one next. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
then what
Horizon
happened-
got me, right?
Yeah.
I was 30 minutes into the video, and I sent him a text, and I was like, dude, I was perfectly fucking happy believing the earth was a sphere.
Weren't we all? We all were. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then he just responded back. He's like, yeah, well, then stop watching it. I'm like, no, no, not now.
I
I don't know.
like,
I wasn't happy.
It was like it was
Still
like
from Pandora's box, man.
What was his name? Cypher or whatever. Like, why did you unplug me from the Matrix? I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
So,
that.
yeah.
But from my perspective, I wasn't happy when I was a Globee, just because of the whole situation, everything going on. It was a good change of pace. It was like a perfect moment to shatter a paradigm and to start building some new situation.
It's nice that you can use the globe as like the scapegoat for all of the problems going on before. Like you can be like, it's because of the globe.
Well, it's not the globe.
No,
You're
I know,
saying
of course.
you were better when you were a glober, but I'm saying
Like-
when I thought I lived on a globe, life wasn't that good for me. you
No,
know?
I
Like,
know. Yeah.
shit was rough, and it
There
just
is-
so happened it was like right. It's just crazy how all of it happened at the same time. You know?
There's a palpable improvement in the way you feel when you really do take the journey and you actually go through it proper. You can't just like flip, okay, I'm flat now. You know, you literally have to go through some things. You have to go through like some anxiety, and you're like, I remember the first time I'll tell you mine real fast.
you gotta be honest.
You got to be honest with yourself. And you also like, I was going through all the math. I was going through, this can't be right. This can't be right. But the silly thing that broke me through, and it's silly, and a lot of people are like, they don't even like this proof or whatever. But I was at the bar, and I could not. I was trying to relearn spherical trig and trying to figure out, okay, square line, it curves, it, all this stuff, and trying to just get it back into my head, something I haven't used since I was 18 years old, right? Well, I get on and someone sends me this video, or I found this video of the damn sun with reflections behind it. You got clouds in front of it. I was like, wait a minute, at 93 million miles away, the sun doesn't get to decide whether it's in front of a cloud or behind it. And I was at the bar, and I just took my drink, slammed it, shut the computer, and ran outside. And I was like, this is what I did. I looked up in the sky, pointed up, and said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I was in that same moment, everything flashed before my eyes. I was like, I'm going to lose all my friends.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to think I'm nuts. And I'm like, how do I do this? How do I fucking do this? How do I like just like keep the secret? Well, of course I couldn't keep it secret because eventually someone would like see some comment that I would make, on social media. And I'm like, well, it
It's like
appears
holding
that
on
way.
to a secret if you're a bad secret holder on to.
I
Like,
know,
you know what
I know,
I mean?
you're just
Like it's so hard. Like if you have a secret and you're just like, yeah, don't tell anybody. I'm just like,
it's like-
whatever
Well,
that
we were
is.
also, when we went and watched these videos, we were also told to go tell everybody.
Well,
That was
Yeah, there was a-
everyone's fucking vibe,
but I
There
don't
was
think
there was a
they needed to
proactive
really push
element.
us that hard. I mean, didn't we want to
But
be
I'm
like?
saying that was the vibe they put out. That's exactly the same vibe a lot of us just immediately adopted. Like everyone needs to go know about this right away, and then we go and it's like, oh, that wasn't a good idea.
I mean,
No,
like you
no.
coming out of like
Not a
rehab
good
though
idea.
is so funny. You quit like meth and heroin, then you're like a week later, you're like, hey, guess what, guys? I just figured out shit that Neil deGrasse
Seriously.
Tyson. I'm smarter than that
Listen.
motherfucker. Like you must have looked insane. I gave up my speed and I know more about physics. And like they're like, okay,
Yes,
Like,
yes.
and that's what they looked at. So then you're in your mind, you're like, but I am right, which makes it even more maddening. And
Yeah.
so what do you do?
Oh yeah,
Like,
they're like, oh, this dude is on what the hell kind of meth
that's
is
what
he
happens with a lot
smoking?
of
He's saying the
people.
earth is flat.
Mhm.
Like as soon as you quit doing something like smoking cigarettes, drinking, heroin, meth, whatever, then all you say is like you're preaching to the world how you overcame that. Like, I quit the globe.
But see, mine wasn't like oh, I'm gonna lose all my friends because I fucking already didn't have any friends, and the ones that were friends weren't friends, right? So for me, it was just what the fuck is this place? Like, I would have panic attacks about it, and I would like look up where the fuck are we right now? I was pretty confident I knew where I was.
Yeah.
Just a fucking few weeks ago, and just the thought of not knowing where I'm at, it was like the most scariest, liberating feeling ever. And it's like, I gotta know what's going on. So
yeah,
send me down the rabbit hole.
Is this like AA for former Globies? AA that we're having tonight.
Yeah. This is the ex-heliocentric believers recovery group right here.
It's been 8
Grab
years,
your little coffee and your cigarettes. And, you know,
40
sit around.
hours.
Yes.
And conspiracies was always my cup of tea. It was just happened that I came across this flat earth thing. And when I first heard it, it was from a Rob Skiba video, but he was like pushing the Bible, and I was just and I just went,
exactly.
And then a couple weeks, like months later, all of a sudden I heard this Dave Weiss guy being interviewed on Sam Tripoli, and he's like flat smacking this no-name comedian Globy guy.
Yeah, Dave,
and,
dog.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Like, what is going on over here? You know, like, had to look into it.
Yeah, and there was it was overwhelming, right? And I remember just barely, like, the girl I was seeing at the time, Cheryl. I was like, I told her finally, I was like, I've been looking at something that's kind of, I'm thinking that the Earth might be flat. And she was like, well, I don't think it's flat, but it's okay if you think it's flat. And then because she didn't care, she just moved along. And like, it's one of those, because some people are just like, okay, you think it's flat, it's fine, and they don't care. It's the people that like really invest.
They're probably just thinking, not even really listening to the words. They're just going, okay, yeah, that's nice.
Like I don't think anything went in or out or anything like that. But it was just like, I just completely said something that's so batshit, and it had no effect on you. And I'm like, wow.
I know. Me telling my stoner friends, alone? I'm pretty sure I know more about the way shit works than like Newton and like Stephen Hawking. That's basically what I was saying. I'm like, I know more than them. Don't listen to them. Yeah. Listen to me. Right. You know, it's like,
you know what? I still think that because all I hear Hawkins say is gibberish, like computer words.
Black hole.
And I don't even know if the other guy was real. I don't even know if the other guy was real. So
we don't even know whatever's coming out of his
to the top of the chalkboard.
It's on his back, Sean.
I was promised midgets.
They humans.
You know what it is? And it's a really simple like formula that those gatekeepers use. Is like, you got to pick somebody who's the mouthpiece that you're not allowed to make fun of.
Bro, they put him in a vomit comet and pushed him around like a hot potato.
So cringe. It's so cringe. With his little feet, like little feet are floating around in an airplane. Dude, I just can't.
He was probably saying the whole time in his head, like, please don't do this to me.
Yeah, please, I want to go back down. I might have to poop my pants.
Space, here I come.
He was laying out the foundation of string theory when he farted like that. It was genius. You just, oh my god, that's a Nobel Prize. Yeah,
you guys know who needs a Nobel Prize? You know the moon is shrinking, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know who needs a prize though? Was his translator. That's needed a damn award.
That little comb. I don't know. I want to get one
delay.
Of those.
I'm talking about the human translator before he had his little cheek rubbing thing going on. The human translator translating him live time.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
the dude ain't even finished with his sentence, and
then the wormhole.
You're gonna tell me that the guy's. Yeah. You think he's going to rip out all that word salad by moving his tongue around? No, he wasn't, dude. It was just like, it was already recorded, and it was just like him like this. You're not doing that kind of big thinking with your tongue in an electronic translator. It's just dumb. And you're like, we drank that shit like Kool-Aid for years. It was like, this guy's probably pretty smart. I know he's struggling with this disease, but he's got to be super smart.
He can't even wipe his own ass. He's going to space, though. That's fucking
going to space.
You know, the whole story about Stephen Hawking is about as believable as Helen Keller. which is
exactly.
Calling bullshit to that
I
one
think it's
too.
funny that he cheated on his wife. Like he was like, "Nope, not hot enough. I need another one."
No, he needed a new nurse to like toggle his bean
He's
or
like,
whatever it is. I don't even know how that
I could do
works.
better.
God.
What? I deserve better.
He put on sunglasses one day. He's like, I look pretty good today. I'm leaving this chick. It's done. Yeah.
That's so funny. I don't know. But,
okay, so I'm going to share my screen for just a moment. I don't have too much longer. I got to go to 10 minutes or something.
Okay.
And Austin, this is what I sent you in Telegram. And it's kind of weird to look at. I ran this by a bunch of people in Discord last night as I was in, I'm at school. So I don't care. I'm alone. I'm in a conference call. I was very inebriated, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Present. There's that. Go to this.
Oh, by the way, there's the call-in link is in the description. If anybody wanted to call in a little bit and give their 2 cents on the subject for a little bit, for a few minutes.
Also, apparently that video, or those videos of those support structures that were filmed by 2 different cameras over several different years, taking back Eden, says they've been taken down. I know that it exists in the middle of one of David Weiss's videos that I watched today because it's the first time I ever fucking saw it. I mean, I'm almost inclined to say it's fake, but anyway, what do we got?
Okay, so
that's real.
Yeah, totally
well,
real.
Bro.
It's very odd because when you're looking at it, it's definitely layered.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, a backyard photographer. There's a skull right here. If you look at it, if you zoom in, it's like a skull right here.
Oh my God, look at all those nebulas.
Look at the big elephant type of tusk, which looks like something phallic. There's an eyeball right here, and there seems to be like a spirit creature up here. And I know that I have a tendency to look at things differently than other people because of, apathia and pareidolia, whatever you want to call it. But I can notice this kind of stuff because I've actually done a little bit of photo editing, and this is definitely fucking layered and not real. But this is directly from astronomypictureoftheday.nasa.gov.
Mm-hmm.
And this is...
You run some filters on that?
Yeah, you probably could. I just haven't ran it through.
See, I see a lion's face or something down at the bottom here. See, I'm just doing pareidolia things right now, but like I see.
Yeah, but it just... Once I noticed, it took me like 5 seconds to notice, like, what the fuck? This is a layer. It's not a real photo. Well, actually, they didn't call it a photo. It's an image.
Right, image.
Wait, do you mean to tell me that they're faking space?
That's not really a real photo.
That.
Not a real photo.
There's a whole.
I don't know what I'm doing.
There's a whole person.
You see a whole person in there?
Look at behind the cloud. See it?
Oh.
Look at there's the eyes and the nose and the mouth.
Oh. I mean, they're always poking fun or trolling whenever they do these pictures. So like,
what you guys are seeing.
There's trolling.
I don't see any of that shit. I see a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I see nonsense here.
I mean, you guys got to admit, you got to admit the ultimate NASA troll of all time was putting Pluto's face on Pluto. I mean, that was the ultimate.
That's just a coincidence,
like,
bro. That's just a coincidence.
Fuck you.
It's just a coincidence.
The ultimate troll is the
you gotta
waste management protocol. That's the ultimate troll.
This thing apparently is 300 light years in diameter, and it's 8,500 light years away.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the old inverse square law just doesn't apply to this one.
No, of course not. Light, I mean, that would be so bright at that point, it would just melt anything that got close to it.
Mm-hmm. You know what the fun thing is about the inverse square law is because we know everyone agrees the inverse square law is true. Even scientists, mainstream scientists say it's true. Well, the moon, by the time you got to the surface, it was actually something you could land on, would be so fucking bright. And it's also putting out cold light. You would freeze to death halfway there and also wouldn't be able to see anything at 236,000 miles, allegedly, right? So all that math just goes to fucking shit. But you can't say that to everybody because nobody knows what the inverse square law, because we had to drag ourselves through all this shit all over again to learn it all. Which is the whole taking inventory of where we're at this point in time. So yeah, all of us, we've been doing a lot of work. And what I'm trying to say is be gracious and be thankful that we put in the work, and it gets easier.
You guys are both making good points because we all can't help kind of going back to look at this shit, and this is kind of like what I'm talking about is that we. It's I know that Einstein didn't really say that. The definition of insanity is expecting something different. But that's not a real quote. But there is something to be said that it was kind of like how the left was pushing anti-Trump stuff, and I'm just watching them foam at the mouth for 4 years. Oh, look at Trump! Look at Trump! I'm like, yeah, stop watching him. And why? Like you guys sound like an ex-girlfriend that can't get over it. Like, let's go drive by Globe Earth's house and see if Globe Earth is still there. And maybe we'll just throw some this is what I'm not saying above this. I recognize that we all. Let's just be honest. Like we are still dealing with this shit. Like we can't help it.
Do you think it looks like a trap?
Yeah.
What? Think it's a trap?
It looks like a trap. It feels like a trap.
Like a never-ending trap, and you have to jump out of that to
level
up. Because I honestly feel like that sometimes. Yeah. I'm I'm not trying to offend anybody, but sometimes when I just I just see very repetitive behaviors. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like the same shit every year. We go through the phases. Like I know when the community is going to start, talking about certain things based on what time of year it is. It's kind of we're just going through the phases, and it's just a repetition. And I noticed that, and I kind of pulled myself out of a lot of that shit.
Trauma loops. We're in like a trauma
time
loop.
and everything. Yeah, it's yeah.
Was this a big trauma for us? It was a big trauma for everybody, I think, right? Can we classify this as trauma?
Yeah. And we still haven't really cured it. Like this is like addressing that it's even a problem is probably a newest stage. Like I think we all have to be like immediately, oh my God, it's flat and I'm amazing and everything's good now. But like there's a lot of things that I'm just gonna be honest here. Like it wasn't all great. Yeah, I found God, but I lost friends, I lost my sanity, I lost my sense of self, I lost my confidence, a lot of it, and it's just, and so what do I do? Like my coping mechanism is going to look at NASA. I look at NASA. I'm like, it helps me cope with that trauma, but it hasn't really cured anything. A little bit just being self-aware at this point, but what I'm recognizing is it does feel like a trap. And I think it's such a beautiful concept to wake up to. And I know we can do better. Like that one day, it will take us to a higher place. And this is just us dealing with the breakup of the globe. We're still
bitter.
Dude, it's so weird you say that. I was just about to write a breakup letter to NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Dear NASA. Mm-hmm. It's just not working out.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Dude, we'll turn it into a Taylor Swift song. Dear NASA. Yeah. I'm the problem or whatever.
You know what else, Crum? Is like check this out. It's like, us being our little bitches that we are, when everyone actually does wake up to it, we're going to be like, damn it, I wish it was back when it was just like 2019 or 20, when it was just us. When it was just us, it was just like this small little group, and it was so much more badass.
I'm there right now. I'm like, God damn it. Shut up, TikTok. Shut up, Gen Z. Stop being so awake. This is our shit.
Stop robbing me of our shit, man.
Yeah, I know. It does feel like
Flat Earth was cool. There'll be hipsters writing this in 20 years. Remember when Flat Earth was cool? That was a cool year.
Exactly.
Super cool.
Yeah. No. We be careful what we wish for. Because there's going to be a time when, just like anything, I mean, even after COVID, even after
the thing,
let's just move on. I feel like I've already tainted this area. Yes, we love YouTube. Go Israel. I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, now you're gonna have to go dip me into hobo speak again, Matt over at Quantum Consciousness. He's like, he has this whole hobo speak that he's gotten basically nailed down. He almost has a whole dictionary on how he can talk, however he wants to talk, and everyone does understand, what he's talking about. Do you guys do?
I think I do
Matt
that
over
naturally.
Quantum Consciousness?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of have to right now at this point. With
Hopefully.
Fluff Tube. Yeah.
Well, so far so good. My channel's nice. I haven't looked at the chat, but if anybody, I did offer if anybody wanted to join in on this conversation, and because I do want to talk about. I guess what I'm talking about is exactly where we just went right now, and how like we all naturally, and it's just what we're doing. We naturally like are bringing up, look at this, look what they're doing. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, and we're always like, look at how bad that is. And it's like, I just can't help think about like, like everybody's probably has an ex that like screwed him over, and you just can't, and you obsess like, oh well, look at them, look at that, look at yes, see, and it's when do you move I don't know. It's hard not to, because like it's an interest. I'm interested in the line. Like it's like an obsession. But like
Breaking Up with the Globe is you need to write that book, dude. Breaking Up with the Globe, and then just make it a rom-com. Can you make it a rom-com? Only it's just like the Globe is like this girlfriend that you just loved, and like you do it.
I was never like,
yeah, man.
Like
we were happily married for 35 years, and then one day he decided to just cheat on me. I didn't even know him anymore, and then everything just broke down, and then yeah, exactly.
I never really
you just got it. You got to do it, man. You have to. The metaphor is already laid out for you.
Like what
have AI write it for that matter?
Yeah, why not?
You say we're like married to the Globe, but I wasn't even aware of the Globe. Like I'm way more interested in where I live now before I thought I lived on a Globe. And it's not like I don't even feel like I'm breaking up with the Globe. I feel I was.
The Globe
really
thinks they're all that, but they're not.
With the Globe.
They're just. And yeah, so we're all just sing it, sister. We're all kind of. I think we shouldn't.
I think we shouldn't put like make Flat Earth our whole identity.
No, I don't think so at all. And that's actually, that's what I'm saying is that once we do that, we create this us and them thing, and right. I just think it's a beautiful truth. But it doesn't need to be a divider in society, and you're totally right. And but we can't help it because it's so impacting. It's so identity forming by societal norms. It just is. We can't change society's view on this belief. Like it's just ingrained. I could beg people to be like, please don't judge me for thinking this, but they're going to. Just like if you say like you become outcasted, like anti-Semitic. If you say all of a sudden, oh you're discredited. Oh, you believe the Earth is flat. Oh, you for many things. If you're anti. Like immediately.
Oh, you mean you've been crushing it for 3 years?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, bat 1,000.
You mean you've been batting 1,000%, right?
Do you guys think there's a possibility that maybe we might have signed up for this at some point before we were born? We signed up for this shit.
Did. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes I think about that. I'm like, did I sign up for this shit? Really? Would I have done that to myself to put myself through this? Or like maybe it was a sentence. It was a sentence that I like, look, dude, you fucked up in your last life. You need to go down here. You're gonna fucking solve this. So here you go. And you're just like, holy shit. I don't want to call it a sentence. I want to say I signed up for it. That's how I'm going to manifest it.
No, I did.
I signed up for it.
I did. The second I found out fucking Santa Claus was bullshit, I was like, what? The motherfucker at the mall, all the parents, how can they all be in on it? And then I'm asking, how can they all be in on it? It's impossible. And then 20 years later, how can they all be in on it? Again, no. And that becomes like, that's the argument 20 years later after we just like, oh, they were all in on it. What do you know? All of them. So I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
That actually does work,
man.
Just like, but the one thing that does kind of get through to like people that are just, they've got a little bit of a wall up is the whole, I've said this many times, but NASA being Santa Claus for adults actually does make an inroad. If you want a really soft inroad to somebody, you say that and then you move along. You move along. You just let it go. So say, go on in other conversations or whatever. But that one's kind of sticks in there a little bit, because everybody knows Santa Claus isn't real. And then you apply that to what NASA is, which we know that NASA isn't real. And then it kind of puts.
God, I hope I don't get a strike for that. That'd be so lame. we've misinformation.
NASA's Santa Claus Bringle?
Misinformation. Anything contracting the South or North Poles. Whatever. I don't know. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. No worries. I'm just talking, man. I'm just unloading a year's worth of like stream that we haven't done since.
Write yourself a NASA breakup letter. I'm doing that right now, literally.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Literally, I'm on Microsoft Word right now.
I love that you jumped on the stream only to just write a NASA breakup letter.
Dear
in real
NASA.
time.
Well, so far what I have is, Dear NASA, I've come to the conclusion that this relationship just isn't working out. I've caught you in way too many lies, and I just don't trust you anymore. I gave you plenty of opportunities to come forward and be honest with the world, but you still continue to believe your narcissistic bullshit. NASA, you've also been stealing money from me ever since I've been paying taxes, and I want to give you the chance to. I have finished from there.
You got to have something in there too, where like I caught you smoking cigarettes or something. But the metaphor is, of course, I caught you doing this. But like,
Well, I'm going to end it with. By the way, I've been seeing someone else.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. There's got to be
I
something.
love it.
It's like metaphorically akin to like you found rubbers like on the nightstand or whatever, but it's something else different than that. It goes what I'm saying. It goes back to like I'm breaking up the globe, right? So you can do a metaphor all the way through this whole motherfucker, right? And like I think that's what you're actually coming to, Crumb, is that we're all walking out of a bad breakup. And I think there's that metaphor really, really, I don't know, it resonates with me. Yeah. So like, and that's what it was, dude, man. I was like, holy shit, when that hit. I was like, this is going to sting. This is going to sting a lot.
It did sting. And I think that's what I'm realizing now is just, it's, we're the whole world's dealing with the trauma of the last 3 years, the lockdown stuff. And and I realize that no one's really talking about it yet, but it's obvious. I can feel it in the air. And that's another thing with this community. I just noticed that there's a lot of, I don't know, just like the amount of energy given to trolls online, especially when they're, when they're asking dumbass questions that if they were really interested, they can easily find the flat earth explanation for, but they don't. They bait, flat earthers, and they just give away their power because it's so easy. It's like, well, if you do this, but we all know deep down that they're not really listening, or they're not trying to like actually learn up from us.
They're not. I'm not sure there's a person there. I'm really not sure there's a person in there that actually is listening into your speak, right? And like, I don't know, man. It's like,
and I just see people give away their power too much, man. And I do too, but it's so hypnotically inviting because of I haven't I haven't just said goodbye to that trauma. Like I'm like, it's still like, is it there? It's like, fuck. I want to beat it. So I go on here and I'm like, I'll show you. And then they're like, oh yeah, that's stupid. And I'm like, damn it. You keep beating me. You keep hurting. Yeah. Like it's like, it's just like some random, like troll, but like, I don't know. Like I'm realizing I can't change them no matter how much sense I make. And I just see I don't know. I know a lot of other flat earthers have this like just innate desire to do the same thing, and it's just you could take that same energy and put it somewhere else, and I think there would just be so much. There's just so much power there.
Practice this phrase. Okay, so like you're not triggering anybody. You're not like doing any flat earth stuff in front of somebody that's not flat. Just practice this phrase. If anything comes up about flat earth, just say, don't be late to the party, because nobody wants to be late to the party. Everybody's like, wait, what? What does he mean by that? Don't be late to the party. Just don't be late to the party. Because as long as you're not perceived as shoving something into their head, they're going to be like, okay, this motherfucker just challenged me. I'm going to go fucking figure out what he's talking about. And then they got to look at it, Don't be late to the party. Because you know what? Flattoberfest was a damn blast.
Oh my God. I still have
so much
wonderful dreams about that.
Yeah, but still, like, for a topic this like groundbreaking,
it has to be fun.
The amount of people there is nothing compared to like, like you can get like, I've had like rock shows have more people there, like for my shitty band from back in the day. Like, why would something this groundbreaking like this is huge, but it's so new that
I can't.
Like
when people talk about it at work. Okay, so like my boy Tyler. This is what started the little rabbit hole and how he started coming on the show. Was the first thing I just, didn't really say much to him, but I heard him in the break room while I was in the office. He's in the break room talking to somebody about something, and he makes a comment and makes a reference to the storm on Jupiter. And it's in my bones. I couldn't help it. Like I couldn't not say nothing.
I know. It's like Ace Ventura when he's holding his ass and he's like,
yes.
Oh God,
I just had to get it off. And
that's what it feels like.
Yes, 100%.
Can I ask you a question? Like,
Dude,
I'm like, there's no fucking storm.
Finkel's Einhorn video yesterday.
Crazy. I just can't. I can't.
You can't do it. You can't
say
sit there.
Something.
No, I know, and that's the thing. It's like,
but I said that. I yelled at. I was like, "There's no fucking perpetual storm on," and I just kept going about what I was doing. And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you heard me, bro. There's no storm on Jupiter." Right? And I just go back to what I'm doing. He's like, and then the guy who's talking to already knows about me. He's like, "Yeah, bro."
It's like, uh-oh. It's like, oh, yeah, Austin knows more than the scientists. Because that's what to them, that's what they see. You are right. That's the most maddening part. But like, okay.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, hey, Grum, thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, thanks for joining, man. That was cool, brother.
Andrew.
Right on, brother.
Thanks for writing that letter while you're on streaming with us.
Yeah,
Take care. Make sure it's shut.
I'm halfway through with it.
Excellent.
I'm gonna make it really detailed and
Yeah, let me. I'll do some piano music in the background, all sad and stuff for you. Let me know when you're done.
Well, have you guys ever seen? It's a super popular video that's on YouTube. There's always two of them. It's called "Sad Cat Diaries."
Mm-mm.
You guys ever seen that?
No.
Oh, you guys gotta watch that. It's
Sad Cat Diaries.
Yeah, it's super fucking. I mean, it's got like 100 billion views or some shit.
Is it sad or is it happy?
Well, it's about the narrative of a cat like writing a diary to his owner. You have to kind of watch it. And I'm gonna kind of do this the same way, like from a
point of view on the letter. You mean on the letter you're writing? Is that
Sad
like the
Cat
same
Diaries?
approach?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Copy.
But aside from that, yeah, if I hop off, I hope to see someone else hop on.
Yeah, I put
fucking work right now, and I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, no, we got. I could.
If anybody out there can find the video of the thing on the firmament, the structures on the firmament that I never saw until today, if somebody can find that, Taking Back Eden, if you can find that, 1111.
I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in here. If anybody wants to hop on, we can go for
like
the
background.
All right, brother.
Yeah,
do you want me to take you off the screen? I'll take you off the screen.
Yep,
you got it.
See you later, brother. Hey, can you do a musical break? And I just want to fill up my coffee and
you go right ahead, man. I'll continue with this. It's all good. I'll do a little break
you just
here.
Keep ranting?
Yeah, you know what? We do have a little musical break for you guys. It's Alex Jones is gonna talk about.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like the frogs. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you.
That's classic. You guys are loving that.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Isn't that good stuff? Let's see what else I got here. I have some stuff like loaded from last year.
That was the first time Nicole had ever seen that.
Oh yeah,
She never actually seen that.
I don't like putting chemicals in the water.
It still makes me laugh every time I see it. Just because.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get old. That's the go-to song. It's not very long though, but
I don't know. I'm gonna step over here for a quick second, but I'll be right back.
Right on. I'm not sure if anybody wanted to call in. I did throw it out there, but I just wanted to open that up, start doing that. I haven't looked much at the chat. I will now though.
I've been checking out the chat.
Yeah, how's it looking?
Good.
Good looking here.
People here.
Oh,
Got
cool. Yeah,
27
we
people
got
here.
some good people here. No, I haven't even looked at. Oh shit, the rock fin. I didn't look. I forget about the poor rock fins. Oh, thank you, Vincent, for the tip. $2 tip. You're the man. My wife doesn't want to come to my home anymore because they don't want to hear about it. But I haven't talked about it in 2 years. Dude, that's maddening. You gotta be able to talk about this stuff with people.
Yeah, that's
You got
that's rough.
to. Like, it's not like it's. This is a big deal. Crummy talked about relishing ships going to ship because of a flat earth. My wife, what's a divorce because of it? Yeah. I don't know what that's like, man. But I that would happen to me if I was in that situation when I found out. I thought about that. That's because you have to be able to talk to somebody about this. That's so huge. I was single at the time, and my prospects went from, whatever, the half the population to very, very little candidates. And then during COVID or Schmovid, it became even more. So I'm happy I found Emily. She gets it, and I forget about that, but that's rough, man. And I'm wondering, like, is that something, if people are looking into flat earth and haven't brought it up with their spouse yet, there's gotta be, you gotta be able to like talk to people and kind of work out a game plan, to try to keep some of the relationships that matter. And that's something I wish I would have thought about when I first looked into flat earth was, okay, this is a very controversial subject. It's very polarizing. Let me write a list of people in my life that no matter what, I don't want to fucking lose. I don't want to fucking rock the boat. And if I made that list and just stuck to it and said, okay, these people are my VIPs, it's not worth rocking the boat. Okay, cool. I wish I would have done that. But I didn't. And ultimately, it was just made it way harder. And I didn't recognize that flat earth was so polarizing at the time. And I didn't realize how badly I needed outside validation or somebody else to join me on that journey for me to feel secure. Because it took me years to get back to that. And to have somebody just mock me or not believe me or not validate my experience who would live with them and be close on an intimate level, that sounds maddening. And this is a great example of, we talk about how flat earth is great for all the people that woke up, but I know there's a lot of situations out there where people are losing relationships, like, in marriages, and they're not talking about how great flat earth is. And they're not really talking about their experience at all, because who do they talk to? So feel free. If anybody wants, I'll put the chat. I'll put the StreamYard chat in here if anybody wants to. I'm not putting anybody in the spot.
I'm on a delay, Karam, so.
You're on a delay?
Yeah, I'm sitting in Alex's chair.
Oh, hey, Nicole.
I didn't. Hi, Crumb. I didn't want to interrupt you because I like when people are able to talk about their feelings, because I think that's really, really important.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did kind of.
yeah.
I just kind of like zoned out. I was staring this way. I wasn't looking at the screen, so I was just doing that. And I was just looking over here on the Rockfin. Amberson, Ashley, nope. What's up, Adrian? Very similar story. And Vincent saying my wife's a teacher. That's part of the problem. That is a tough one. I've known a few people who, because they were teachers, like, it was just too hard for them to see, and You want to bring it up. You want to share this knowledge with them, but you also have to understand that you are completely invalidating their whole like purpose in life, not only just what they believed they were on. You know, as a musician, it wasn't that hard for me to see it, but like for some people, it's probably too hard to rub their face in it. And I would honestly suggest like looking at it from that perspective, looking at it like they, you know, as if you know, they were a child like deceived, you know, or something, like to the point where a little bit of finesse, gracefully, and try to guide them to it if you must, as their idea, and ask questions and maybe kind of go through the journey like together, instead of being like, I think it's flat and you have to say things like, look, I hate this journey. I can't help being curious. I have this question. Will you look, maybe like you can help me with this? Like, I'm just wondering why there's these flights are like this. Do you have any idea? Do you want to look at it with me? It's bothering me. Like maybe you could find a way to like, to join them in it in a more organic way, you know, like find like tickle their curiosity bones instead of, you know, it's possible that that if you have like a close relationship, what they might be upset with is that you decided to do all this research on your own and not include them. You know, it could be a very intimate experience going through it together if you know ahead of time, I'd imagine. I think about a lot of this stuff, man. But it's not a situation I've been in, but I try to put myself in their shoes. Very sorry, Vincent. That must be rough. Feel free to email me if you wanted to send me any more info on that. And curious.
Shout out to Vinny. What's
Yeah.
up, brother?
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting us know. All right.
So,
Sure, it's at right there, man.
Yeah.
So do you have a silver lining for all of those things? Like, what are some positive things that you can look at instead of just focusing on something that kind of bothers you? Like, there's a good part of it and a bad part of it. So you got to find that little part that is really great, because that's the thing that is really important when you're dealing with things like grief and trauma and stuff like that. And so music for you, I know you love. Right?
Yeah. I love music. But are you saying like, what do I like? What like positive in spite of this?
Yeah,
stuff?
like this silver lining thing. So, you know, something really bad happened, but what you like, I had a really bad day, but you don't. If you're focusing on like the really bad day, then you're kind of focusing on the negative. But there's always one little part of a positive, from like a bad relationship to like where you are now and like who you feel with yourself now. And so
I have tons of positive, and I feel like the positives is what I've been focusing on the most. But I think, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, I just am noticing things that I think I ignored, and I think it's stuff like that people are afraid. I think people are afraid to like really go much farther into it because they're afraid to admit the negatives. Like we could talk all day about how great it is for us, and there are wonderful things that, you know, I feel way less gullible. I don't feel like I feel closer. I feel like I feel way more self-aware. And every day is like, my brain is just like, it's just, I'm never bored. I'm never, it's fun. There's a lot to it. There's so many positive things, and generally that's what I focus on. You know,
That's beautiful.
How about for you? What positive aspects, for you? Can you think of?
Jesus. Crumb, you and I could do a whole entire podcast about trauma. Seriously.
Okay.
I can talk about trauma.
Sure.
But trauma in a way, and trauma is everything, right? Like, it's not just one little thing that happened, but when it comes to like in relation to flat earth, I come from a military family. And so my mom, she was always like, the moon is fucking bullshit. I watched it. It was all fake. All of it, the whole landing of it. And so my dad was in the Navy, and I remember him telling me when I was a kid that like you couldn't see anything from the ship and it was all just flat everywhere. So, and then my brother, speaking of like losing friends and stuff, and because you guys were talking about that earlier, my brother's best friend was one of the first people that I like who like went through this, and he didn't lose any friends. Nobody judges him. Yeah. And so I think like it comes down to maybe judging yourself with the decisions that you made. But when you look at it in a way that there is no such thing as a bad decision, like you can't decide what you're going to believe in and what you're not going to believe in and what you resonate with and what you don't resonate with. And so I think it's really important to, you can reflect back on those things and you can think of them upside down and backwards, or you can develop them and really focus on what is going on in the present moment. Yeah. You know, since there's no such thing as now. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as now. Do you think that like
a lot of what we're saying is like a projection? Like, I think you're kind of saying that maybe like I'm projecting like what I think they think of me and making that a reality. Like where it's an echo chamber. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're totally right. Because I'm like, they're writing me off, and they're like, no, we're not. I'm like, yes, you are. You know, there's definitely truth to that.
Isolating yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And so that isolation stuff. But I am a survivor of a really terrible relationship. And then I started documenting my life, and I documented all of my therapy through like PTSD and all of that stuff. And I don't think there's, even with, COVID and everything, like everybody had their own experiences with 9/11 and COVID, and it was all traumatic. It's all trauma. And so it's this really fucked up thing that they do to keep us in this constant state of grief and fear. And once you're not afraid of that anymore, I think that is when things really open up for you.
That's when you realize your power.
Like, you're like, realize, fuck. Not only have I been gaslit and lied to my whole life, I too have been lying to myself. And when you find that out, it's devastating, because then you feel like you have to start over. But that's a very like, I don't know, Buddhist concept where you like create the mandala and then
you're absolutely right. No, 100%. Like, once you free yourself and stop playing the victim role and everything in his life, and you realize that the power is within you, we've just been afraid to admit it. And you're absolutely right. This is like a switch that I've just at 41, just kind of like this last year. The reason why I took off was because these are things that were hitting me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, man, like I've been putting a lot of my power outwards, like seeking validation and shit. That's in not so much here, but a little bit like. And just being like, oh, I hope, like trying to control the outcomes way too much. And I realized I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. And to be honest, nobody wants to see that shit anyway. Like it is like all about self-love and figuring out what that really means to you. And to me, that just means that like that's your shit and there's my shit, and I know the difference, and there's a line that like I'm always safe through, and that's an impenetrable kind of thing. It's like whatever's going on around me, there's still that I'm in my comfort zone. You're there, I'm here, and by you I mean like just the outside anything, and that's something that's new to me because I don't know. I have a Pisces moon or something. Like I'm very sensitive, but like that you're absolutely right, and it's a beautiful feeling. And what you're saying is what I've just kind of recognized in my life, and I'm applying it to Flat Earth because it's part of my traumatic journey, and I can also apply it to other personal parts that I've realized. I don't because it's not as relatable on this channel, but it translates. So thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. You just add a whole new tier. So like it's just tiers.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so, but congratulations on like finding love. Do you have any idea how Lowry and I met?
I feel like you guys told me, but it's not ringing a bell. Feel free to tell us.
We met on Tinder like last week.
Yeah, right.
No, so we've been friends. We've been friends for
Oh my God.
since like 2007.
Nice.
Right. And so I saw him go through his whole journey and everything. And we always had different relationships. And then, I went to, do you want, I'm not sure. I've never told this story. Anyway, I went through, I did all that therapy stuff. And then I went to go and travel on my own, and he was on tour. But for the previous, I don't know, 10 years, he was like, so when are we going to have sex? When are we going to fuck? When are we going to do this? I'm like, nope, we're not going to. And then finally in Germany, I was like, yes. So that was like 5 years ago. And then this summer, but we never, we were just still like just friends forever. And then we kind of just got stuck with each other over the summer because of apartment shit. So,
well,
but since then,
you guys seem to complement each other very well. Congratulations.
There's no judgment. I just have always loved him. So
he's a very lovable guy.
Yeah. He's standing off camera right now.
He's like, what are you doing? How about you, Austin? How about you? How long have you been with your lady? And when did you guys meet?
I was gonna do that.
We've been together, it'd be 14 years.
Wow.
March 17th, St. Patty's Day. It'll be 14 years.
Wow.
But it'll be a year of marriage. We've been together for 14 years, but we got married last March.
That's right. I've never seen that.
That's when we got together too. 14 years ago or whatever. But well, we went to high school together, but she was gay. She's with like this, butchy type chick who we're still friends with, because it's kind of a long story. I'll sum it up. I won't make it too long, but so I knew her in high school. I knew she was with this girl who was also in the same school, but we never really talked. And then years go by, I start working at this restaurant, and she was working there with her girlfriend. And at that same time, I got wrapped up in drugs and, getting high with all kinds of people, including her girlfriend and all that stuff. And then one thing led to another, one of her friends said something, we got together, and it's just been me and her. And the first few years was rough.
Yeah.
And then 5 years ago, January 2nd, 2019, we got clean together. We started that very day. That was January 1st was the last day we got high, and we were doing a cocktail of shit, meth, heroin, pills, all that, whatever. And it's just been me and her ever since.
That's cool.
And we got 3 boys. We homeschool them. She homeschools. I help, but she does the heavy lifting. And and then flat earth. And
I commend you for how open you are about like your past on that. I think a lot of people
I don't really give a shit what people say, like
I think that's cool.
I don't give a shit. And anything that anybody has something to say about me, I've already said about myself.
Well, no one judges it, but a lot of people, I don't know, for some reason they wouldn't say it. I think when you talk like that, it makes me want to talk to you even more, because it just shows that you're being real, and it's nice. You're not being judged by anybody, especially in this community, but it's refreshing to hear just like, yeah, I'm a fucking human being. This is what happened. I'm dealing with it. I took care of it. I'm still dealing with stuff, whatever. Wherever you are in your journey,
every
like,
day.
we all are humans, and we all put on our game face, our public face, and we, do our social media. Like, everything's great, but like, I don't know. Like, we all are human beings, and that's just, it's so refreshing. To see.
You know what? The thing, look, when you're doing the stuff that we're doing, if you literally, you kind of just, you can cut it off almost immediately. You're just like, this isn't going to work. I mean, there was a lot of talk of this. It's like, look, you have the capacity of opening your mind to somebody, and somebody that you're going to spend time with, or inside of four walls with, or whatever. They're going to have to be really available for some things that aren't comfortable to talk about, and it's the gulf between those type of people that can listen to what you have to say and that just aren't ready for it is huge, so like, good on you, man. Like that you managed to make that work. And like, because this topic ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. And I challenged myself to go back. I literally went back to a math book. And I relearned spherical trig just because I was like, I got to make sure, because this is fucked up. This is, I didn't spend that much time listening to math in high school. I really didn't, but I was good enough to get through it. And I think I probably got a B. I was probably a B student in math in high school, but geometry and trig always made sense to me because you could make measurements from those. And you could, the whole, what's the damn Pythagorean theorem? You could measure distances across distances you wouldn't normally be able to measure with a tape measure by knowing angles. Yeah. And I had to go back through and reactivate that muscle, right? So you're asking somebody that's going to spend some time with you in your life, inside of four walls, and you're going back to the high school years. People don't want to remember their high school years. They're programmed. You're getting programmed. You're getting indoctrinated. And you're like the fuck, I want to think about geometry at this point in time. And so, like, I took a dive back into that. And if you're taking a partner with you in that sort of situation, somebody who's going to be around you and hang out with you, especially going to something like Flattoberfest, which is, to the average person, that would smoke their minds. Like, they would run to the average person, they would run right out the door and go to the nearest airport and get as far away from you as they could. That's what you're looking at when it comes to relationships like that.
You fine tune who you are, and you might make it harder. You might dwindle down your the perspectives of who is compatible. But ultimately, though, like in the long run, you're saving yourself a lot of time by just, all right, it's less likely to find someone that's compatible. But when I do, I'll fucking know. It's just another way to look at it. I'm looking over on the Rockfin and seeing, what Vincent's going through here. He says, I haven't talked to her about it, probably 2 years, but she's just sick. Not having her family come. She's scared I'm going to talk about it. Try to not talk about it. Like do yourself a favor. Like, just take a breath. Like, it doesn't need to be said. I know that feeling. It's like, I got to talk about it. But think about it though. Just remember that it doesn't change anything, and you're doing it. And if you do bring it up when the family's around, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you. That's it. And you don't want to.
Don't you want to you want to feel like your normal self without somebody, because everyone that's looking at you, they're like, we know what you're about now. We know you.
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes, and you're like, look, dude, you just hang out with me. I'm the same dude. I was before. I just I used to be you.
This is what you do. You say, don't look into it. Don't look into it. It's not for you.
Just don't look into it.
You're not allowed.
There's some people I'll see or want to talk to me about, and I'll look at them and be like, yeah, you ain't ready for it.
No, you ain't ready, fool. Yeah.
I can't talk to you about it.
It's like, you're like, moon landing, yes or no? And they're like, you guys start there. It's like, the moon landing's real. It's like, wrong answer, fool. Come back in a year.
Yeah. I'm usually like, I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to do this with you. Like, let's just get a drink. Let's go get a drink. We'll just hang out over here. And then, like, I just can't.
You gotta be like Fight Club when he's like, you're too fucking blonde, get out of here,
Yeah.
or whatever he said.
Yeah. I did like the first rule of Flat Club. You know, I love that saying. It's like if anyone comes up to me and I can tell they're going to
The first
take a jab.
rule of Flat Club is tell everybody every moment of every day for obsessively look like a crazy person. That's the first fucking rule. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's that.
That's the first rule.
So true.
But no, that
So
for us
true.
it is. I mean, I think me and you are we're probably very like-minded. There are so many breeds of flat earthers, and I think I take the mistake of just thinking that all the ones that show up at the meetups there's definitely a certain breed, but those are just the ones that are interested in that and doing that. There's that, you know, we have to.
Do you know what another really fun thing, a little fun metaphor that you came up with? Well, a metaphor or whatever it was when we had just met each other after Solar Return, and we all went up to Maine. It was a bunch of like the FE people. We went up to Orchard Beach, and like we were noticing something at the same time. We were all hanging out with each other, and all the same kind of things started coming up. And Crumb's like, you know what? This is like being in high school again.
It was like
this
high
is like
school.
starting over.
Everybody was
And
like
everyone's
gossiping a little bit.
Gossiping and like from like this feels like what? I'm like
Yeah.
18 again. And if you wanted to impart something to like what like people that aren't flat, you'd be like, dude, it's kind of like going back to high school and starting over again, and it's super fun, and it's like almost like I don't know, it's like a restart, and you get a chance to like, oh, holy shit, everything's new. But then there's still these little social constructs that happen. You're like, and then you have like these little social groups and we're having fun. And then we start talking to each other and we're like, oh, there's little cliques in here. I got cliques. We got like, you know, you have the Eric Dubé clique over here. And you've got like the Mark Sargent clip. And then you've got like the Dave Weiss clique. You've got all these cliques and you're like, man, it really is like high school again.
You want to know something though? I'm telling Tyler to stay away from all that. I'm like, don't even dive that deep, bro.
You don't want it, do we?
Bro. Like, you don't need to get into all that, bro.
You don't want it. It turns
because
out
he's already showing up to me at work. He's like, bro, I'm like walking around looking at everybody thinking they don't know shit. They don't know shit, man. They don't know anything that's going on. I'm like thinking, oh shit, here we go.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn! I mean, this is what crazy people think, but I'm correct. But this is different because my knowledge is right, and it's just like it still has the same effect on my psychology.
Are you guys getting more people like asking you about it? Is that happening at all?
No, but I get the flat Earth eyes from people. I get the people like they'll look at me and they'll watch like, you know, especially my little social movements, like to my bar downstairs or like other people. They know what I am. They know that I'm out of the closet. They know it. And so they're very careful. Like, you know, I just had a party in here for like my official housewarming party. I was like last Friday. But these are old musician friends who know very well that I have a very specific stance on our cosmology. They still came over and we still had a great time. I didn't bring it up once, but I knew that they knew.
No,
and it wasn't anything.
If you could hold on to it,
I knew that they knew.
Yeah, if you could hold on to it and like, and at the same time, not be forceful and not like feel like you're being pressuring them. There's a nice little balance there. Like it's like, oh, cool, you know, just you have to just that's where you want to be. You know, the other day my old bandmates, like, because one of them was in town, and I had the Flattoberfest poster in the garage, and I had them all over. And they're not even close, but like they know I'm flat Earth though. And I know they saw the poster and stuff, and that's it. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, maybe a few years back, I'd be like, oh my God, have you guys heard about this? It's like, okay.
And I think honestly, you're onto something here, and I'll tell you why. If you're not pressuring them in any sense whatsoever, and you're still you, and you're still the same Crumb that they always remembered, and that with the same sense of humor, same sense of everything, and you're not even talking about it, the burden is now on them. The burden's now on them. If they really want to take the journey, they're going to take it, and they're going to come back to you. Maybe it's 10 years from now, and be like, you know, I'm sorry, I was a dick. But you know what? You don't even have to brag about it.
They might not even be dicks. Can I just say one thing really quick? I know for a fact that when they bring it up, when they say, so are you a flat earther? What they want, what their brain wants is something that's familiar. What would be familiar and safe for them to see is you spiraling, acting like a crazy person, because that would make them their foundation fine. If you
Exactly.
don't act like a crazy person or don't act desperate and you don't act like, please see, like, I need you to see what I see and come on. Like, if you come off desperate, then they're going to be like, aha, I knew it. Flat Earth is so crazy. Because look at how desperate you are for me to see it. If you were like, yeah, I am, but like, I don't want to talk about that. That's not fun.
Be like, you know what?
on,
You want to
spot
live
on.
on a spinning globe? That's on you, bro. Go right ahead.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's like, in fact, I don't recommend it. It is not for everybody. And honestly, like, let's not talk about it. Like, how about that Super Bowl coming up? You know what? Like, literally, just like that's honestly for my sake, because I just don't have the energy anymore, unless they're genuinely curious. But I don't. If I feel any like they're trying to see me. If they're trying to, if they're not looking at me with 100%, I need to like learn from you. If there's like some sort of dissonance, it's not worth my energy, and it shouldn't be worth anybody's. Like, hold on to that shit, especially Vincent over in Rockfin. Like, that's your energy, man. Hold on to that.
Yeah.
Give that energy to yourself. Give that to yourself.
Buddy.
Don't say
Don't
that
let
to your
them manipulate your
to
looch
wife's
out of your
family.
own body.
Yeah,
You know, it's
keep
like
that love inside.
Graham, you've always been like really great at like, you know, you don't know that you're doing it because you're a sensitive dude, but like you use the comedy that you don't even know the comedy that you use actually normalizes the idea of actually looking at it. And like, you're better at it than I am. I spray shit at the wall and whatever sticks. Like like every Tuesday when I go on with Mark, it's basically like Alex Plus. I'm like, let's see if this
you're my
works
favorite
tonight.
part. You're my favorite part.
This works tonight. Let's see if this works tonight. You know, I just keep trying until like something pops, you know, but it's like if you just keep it like it wasn't Mark Twain, but it was Oscar Wilde. And I always use this quote, and maybe he didn't even say it, but I think he said it. He said, if you want to tell somebody the truth, make it funny or else they'll kill you. And that is like something you're really great at.
Thank you, man. I try to.
Austin, you're really great at it.
I feel like
Austin,
I've been way too
like
serious, to be honest. I'm glad you said that. I just
dude.
feel like I've been like, oh shit, am I getting all serious now? And
No. You're doing it perfectly. Austin, what's that the one stream I jumped on that one day? I was like, these guys are on fire right now. Is that just like your fuck around stream? Like, was it the Mellow Ship or what? I don't remember which one it was.
No, it was that was with my friend Tyler, who I've been bringing
that
conversation.
It is gold. It is
Clown World
gold.
Chronicles.
You just have to do that until eventually the needle. You
gotta laugh at it, man. Because if you don't, it's fucking sad. It really is. If you don't.
It's hilarious. Like you showing me that video of the turd. Oh my god, I can't. You saved that.
Dude, I could not believe it.
I thought that was a joke. I thought it was a song. I'm like, no, this is.
Dude, I literally came back from court. I was in court. I've been in court for the last 4 weeks. You're not a New Yorker until you've been to court for at least 4 times. I came back and you guys were on, and I was just like, these guys. In the first 5 minutes, I heard you guys talking. I was like, they're going for a strike today. They're going for a strike. And I was looking at Nicole. I was like, okay. I think I need to get on this because if they're going for a strike, I'm just going to go ahead and help them get it. And like, I was like, that's the shit that really resonates with like your average person who has a sense of humor.
It's still up.
Yeah, it's still up.
Yeah.
You got no knock on that?
Relax.
Wow. I think we're good. I think we either got good at like talking or they don't care as much. Here, I am going to say this. I'm looking at the time. I think we're going to call it a stream here, guys. I know it's kind of late. It's very late for you guys too. So I just want to put that out there that I'll probably be doing this. So if there's any last words we want to say.
All right.
Appreciate the conversation, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I love it, you guys. I love this conversation, man. You guys, this is great. Anytime,
food for the soul.
Yeah, you know.
Definitely, I feel like it is.
Yeah, no, I think we're addressing some good things here. I'm really glad I homeboy over on Rockfin got to talk about a little bit of that. Always say I've got I've done 2 jobs in the last 3 months for some older ladies who were in Flattered Arthur's. It was awesome. Oh, all right. Well, that sounds good. He's doing all right over there. Sorry, I wasn't able to look much in the chat, guys. I just was trying to like keep focuses, and I have horrible ADD. I don't know how anybody can do chats and stream. I'm really trying. I really need to get better at it.
I can multitask like a motherfucker. I can keep up like 3 chats at once. I could just like do. Oh, that guy said it over there.
I don't know how you guys are doing that. And I know you see you guys are responding and shit. I'm like, how are you doing that while you're talking? It blows my mind.
It's a lot when you're running a stream, bro.
It's a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. I got a lot going on.
You did great, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right. Much love, y'all. All right. Well, I'm just gonna end it right there. That's a good
Lowry,
night.
Grum.
Yeah.
Awesome. About like super powerful things, and you should be really proud of yourselves.
Aw. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say another thing.
Oh,
Like, so shout out to Vinny, and I'm sure there's other people in the chat, but because of their situations, like all they have is this community and these live chats.
Yeah.
And where so
That's
having
a good
these
point,
kind of conversations are very important. It's healthy for people to
well, hey,
this
also,
kind of stuff. Yeah.
I forgot to mention this, but we just started. I started a Facebook group, and there's a link in the description. It's a no proofs flat earthers only group, just for talks like this. Not a place to talk, like no trolls, no like here's proofs, just all the stuff like this. That's just like and we're gonna try to moderate and see what happens. I know like there's stuff on Discord, but I don't have enough Asperger's to figure that shit out. I just don't. Like, every fucking time I'm like, I gotta get a server. Like, come on. And a lot of people don't. So like, I'm trying the Facebook thing here. Emily is actually putting it together. I don't do it much, but please join that. There's a link in the description. It's a private group right now. We're gonna just try, and the whole point is just a place for flat earthers only to talk about things like that in their lives, and not a place to like make fun of the globe or NASA or like show proofs or like argues. None of that. And there's plenty of places for that, but you got to be a flat earther. You can't be flat friendly. You can't be like on the fence. You can't even be like it's flat only. And we're gonna try to make it work. So I don't know. Well, hopefully it does.
Send me an invite. What is it?
Yeah, man.
So I'll put it right in the chat right now. If maybe Emily can do that. If you're still there. Oh yeah, she put it in the chat.
I saw the link earlier.
See
Yeah.
the link.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and
She
click
put it
on
up
that
there.
guy. And we just set that up today. Yeah. So we had the little questions and stuff, and so we're gonna try to see if we can do that on the Facebook. Just for that reason. So yeah, if you guys those that are in the chat that you're saying like what you're saying, Austin, feel free to open up there. Also my Telegram group and yours, there's all these places for this kind of stuff. It's this is what's next. We have to address like some of these.
This is a really good taking of inventory for the year. I really like this. You're coming from a much more sensitive position than I'm used to dealing with, which I like. You compliment me because I just want to just leave a flaming pile of shit down the mountain, like a yard sale when I talk about flat Earth.
And we need that too.
You're much more sensitive, and I just I need to learn to curb.
I have my days. I just see there's so much power in this, and I know there's like a new stage, and I'm just curious to know what's next. I remember I did that stream with Mark Sargent like a year and a half ago. I'm like, it's flat. Now what? Because that's just been a consistent theme in my mind. I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
And because it is a powerful concept. It's just it makes everything else pale in comparison. And
everybody has to take the journey on their own. They have to.
That link's not working for me.
No way. Let me see if I.
It sent me to my normal Facebook page. I don't know why. I clicked on it too, but maybe I just did it wrong. I don't know. Let me see. Let me try it again. Facebook groups. So when I do that, it takes me to either go to newsfeed, go back, or visit Help Center. Content isn't available right now. So maybe Facebook hates us again, as per the usual.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. I mean, I don't care. I've been shadow banned since the first time I ever got on this.
Yeah,
thing, so
that's about as far as I thought that would go. All right. I knew for this. Let me take a look. I know I'm an admin, so let me see if I'm gonna get. My invite will do something here. I can. Hold on. I can add you here. Let's see. There we go. And the Lowrys. I think I might need to add you or something. I guess I don't know how this works. But I'm sending invites.
Okay. Are you sending? Will it show up in my email?
It might. You might just send, and maybe that'll work. I'd like to see if I can. Interesting. Well, we're working on it.
All right.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's called FE Thrive.
How long have you been in the FE community?
Right. Okay, nice. Yeah. I guess we have to make it. People, I guess we have to turn it off of private. I think we were trying to go private. I think that's when we got to switch. But that link should be working probably as soon as I get done here. I'm going to figure this out.
All right.
But yeah, we're going to attempt to have just a flat only and high vibe kind of a thing. So, yeah.
Well, love you guys.
Much love, brother.
Much love, fellas.
Hell yeah, guys. Thanks so much for joining.
Make this. Let's make it a monthly thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be weekly, but can you just make it a monthly thing?
Yeah, it'll come. This is all going to come natural.
That's about enough for me.
For sure.
That's enough for me.
I need you to come on every month for sure, man. Let's do that.
Word. I'm complete. This is church for me. I'm complete. My heart is swelling. Just complete.
Namas flat. It's stupid. All right, guys. All right, y'all. I'm ending this.